welcome back to Jay's Kitchen. So today I'm going to be making chicken biryani for lunch. So the only difference is I'm not going to be slogging too long in the kitchen because I'm not really in a mood to cook up a storm. So I'm going to be making chicken biryani one pot style, which is by using a pressure cooker. So it not only saves time in sitting in the kitchen and cooking biryani, which takes quite some time, but it's also a very tasty home cooked meal for those of you who would prefer to eat home cooked meals. So for me, I particularly love cooking one pot style because it's easy, still at the same time it's very tasty. So let's see how we make the chicken biryani one pot style using a pressure cooker. So for the first step, I'm going to be blending the spices for the biryani masala fresh. So you can always use a ready-made biryani masala, whichever works for you, it's fine. So the first step is we are going to be blending the spices. So I'm going to show you what are the spices that I'm going to be blending in. So these are the spices that I'm going to be blending. So we have black pepper seeds, which I'm going to be using about half a teaspoon, 1 star anise, about 4 pieces of cloves, 1 bay leaf, 1 teaspoon cumin seed, 1 teaspoon fennel seed, about 4 cardamom seed, 1 cinnamon stick, and about 2 teaspoons of coriander seed. If you have mace, you can add 1 piece of mace. So since I don't have mace, I'm going to omit mace out of my list. So let's prepare for the roasting. So my pan is heating up. So while my pan is heating up, we're going to be adding in half teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to be roasting all the spices. So a half teaspoon of black pepper. So we're going to be roasting the spices before blending it. And then we're going to go with about 1 star anise. Since I have broken ones here, I'm going to add probably about 3 broken ones. So about 4 pieces of cloves. And then 1 bay leaf, about 1 teaspoon of cumin, and then another 1 teaspoon of fennel, and then about 4 pieces of cardamom seeds, and then 1 cinnamon stick. So I'm going to go with a roughly medium-sized cinnamon stick. So I'll go with 1 medium-sized cinnamon stick. And then finally about 2 teaspoons of coriander seed. Okay, now we're going to dry roast all these spices until it's roasted and it turns a little bit brownish, and then we are going to blend it in the blender till it becomes powder. So just keep sauteing it for about a couple minutes till it turns brown. So my spices have turned brown and it's already roasted. So I'm going to switch off the stove and we're going to blend this spices into powder. So I've added all the ingredients into the blender. So we're actually going to blend it into a fine powder. So it's already blended, as you can see, into fine powder. So now let's see what are the ingredients we need to make our biryani chicken. So I have all the ingredients here. So we will need chicken. So I would prefer always to use drumstick when I'm making biryani. So I'm going to be using half of the drumstick, not everything. So you can choose to put how many that you want. So you can even use regular chicken, or like I do, you can use drumsticks. And then I have cilantro here, and if you have mint, you can always add in some mint too, but since I don't have, I'm just going to be adding cilantro. And then we have our regular oil and also ghee. The ghee actually gives a distinct flavor to the biryani, so we're going to be adding in both together. I'm going to be using 3 cups of rice, which we will need about 5 cups of water when we add in later. So we have our ginger garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of each, and then we have some salt to season, and then 1 tomato, 1 onion, and 2 green chilies, and some yogurt. We're going to be using half cup of yogurt. And then we have our spices: bay leaf, 2 bay leaves, about 3 cloves and 3 cardamom seeds, and we have our freshly blended biryani masala. And then of course we have our chili powder. You can use 1 to 2 tablespoons depending on how much of spice you want in your biryani, and also about half teaspoon of turmeric powder. So let me prep the ingredients and then we can start cooking. So I've got all my ingredients prepped here. So I have my chicken, which I decided to finally use up everything because it's really looks less. So I'm using all my drumstick. I've got about 5 cups of water here to add in towards the end when I'm cooking the rice. I've got 1 onion which I've sliced it, my 2 green chili also sliced, and I've actually cubed my tomato because we want the tomato to turn mushy when we're cooking it. Also my seasoning, salt, the ghee, and also the oil, which I'm going to be adding 2 tablespoons of each. And then I have my half cup of yogurt. I've got my cilantro, which I'm actually going to be using a lot. I'm using a lot because I don't have mint, so I'm going to be substituting the mint with more cilantro. I've got 1 tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of ginger paste, also my biryani masala, and then I've got about 2 tablespoons of red chili powder. I like it to be a little bit spicy, and about half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. I've got 2 bay leaf, 3 cloves, and 3 cardamom here. So everything is done. So let's get into making the chicken biryani. So here's my pan. It's heating up. So I'm going to be adding in the oil, about 2 tablespoons of oil, and then of course my ghee, about 2 tablespoons of my ghee. Just always remember to open it. So in goes my 2 tablespoons of ghee. I'm going to be adding in my spices. Give it a nice mix. And then let's add in our onions. So we're going to cook the onions till it's really translucent and soft. You can see here. So we're going to cook it till it's translucent and soft. So give it about a couple minutes. So I'm going to saute the onions till it's so mushy and it's soft. So as you can see here, give it about a couple minutes for it. So the onions are getting soft. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in some salt here at this point. Not too much. Just a little bit. Excuse me. Not too much. Just a little bit. And give it another mix till it becomes really soft. So as you can see, the onions are cooking into a very nice paste. So at this point, I'm going to add in some green chilies. And then give it a nice mix. And of course, we're going to add in our ginger garlic paste. So make sure you get everything inside. And then give it a nice mix. Make sure that the smell of raw paste goes off. So we're going to give it another couple minutes, about 2 minutes, and then we're going to cook it thoroughly. So once the smell of raw paste goes away, so now we can add in the masala. So I have here my turmeric and also my chili powder, and then I have here my biryani masala. So we're going to add everything inside, and we're going to give it a nice mix. Make sure it's all well incorporated. Give it a nice mix. And then at this point, once everything mixes well together, we are going to add in our tomatoes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to allow these tomatoes to cook thoroughly until they're mushy. You don't want to have all those bits of tomatoes, baked tomatoes. So we're going to allow the tomatoes to cook till they're really mushy and you can't actually see or feel them much. So let's cook it a little bit. So once you see everything becomes very mushy, so at this point, I'm going to add in my cilantro leaves. So add the whole thing inside. And then give it a mix. And then also we're going to add in our yogurt here. So once you add everything, give it a nice mix until it becomes a sort of like paste-like. So let it cook for another 1 to 2 minutes. So then we can add in the chicken. So after getting a paste-like mixture, we're going to add in the chicken right now. So keep adding the chicken until you got everything inside. So I've got all the chicken inside, and right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix it well so the chicken actually mixes in properly together with the paste. So I've already mixed the chicken, and as you can see, it's all well mixed together with the paste. So what I'm going to do is, at this point, I'm going to allow the chicken to cook for about 5 to 6 minutes before we add in the rice and also the water. So just leave it like this for about 5 to 6 minutes and try to keep mixing it so it all gets mixed together. So after cooking for about almost 5 to 6 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the 5 cups of water. That's equivalent to 3 cups of basmati rice. So we're going to give it a nice mix. And I'm doing all this while my flame is in medium heat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add in the rice. So this rice I'm going to add in 3 cups of basmati rice has been washed and soaked for about half an hour. And then now we're adding it in. So make sure you give it a nice mix and mix it all together till it's really mixed up with everything and well combined. So after mixing it all together, so what we're going to do is we're going to add in a little bit of salt. You can even add the salt before adding the rice. Totally up to you. Just a little bit to taste. Okay, and then give it another mix. Make sure you got all the rice all mixed up together. Okay, so now it's time to close the pot. So after mixing it well and making sure that the chicken and the rice has all mixed in together, so what we're going to do is I'm going to allow the heat to be on medium heat. And and I'm going to close my cooker. Make sure it's sealed tightly. And what we're going to do is we're going to allow this to cook till 1 whistle, and after 1 whistle switch off the heat, and for about 15 minutes just allow the biryani to cook with the pressure that's inside until it all goes out. So let's wait for the 1 whistle and then we can switch off the heat. So my pressure cooker has given 1 whistle, so I'm going to switch it off. And then right now I'm just going to allow it to cook on the heat itself. So let's just push it away from the we're going to push it away from the pot and allow it to cook on its own right now. So we'll wait for the pressure to come down before we actually open the pot. So after about 15 minutes we are going to open the cover. So all the pressure has gone out. So let's open it and check out our 1 pot biryani. So it's so tasty and yummy. So just 1 whistle would be good, because a bit longer then you might end up having a very burnt biryani at the bottom. So yeah, my biryani has turned out perfect. It's so nice to see how it's turned out. So yeah, please try it and let me know how you like it. My 1 pot chicken biryani. So my end result of my 1 pot chicken biryani, very simple, very delicious and very fast. 1 whistle and then you switch off the stove and allow it to cook in the pressure itself. Once the pressure goes down, you can open it and just mix it together, and then you have it. Chicken biryani, 1 pot style. Thank you so much for watching my video on how I made chicken biryani 1 pot style. So for those of you who are in a rush to cook but you still want to make a very fast chicken biryani, this is the best recipe for you. And do try it and let me know how it turns out. So you can always adjust the spiciness accordingly to your liking, and also you can always blend more of the biryani masala and keep it in an airtight container so they can always use it at the next time when you're making biryani. So don't forget, do drop me a comment, let me know how it turns out. If you like my video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share it on your social media and among your friends. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button so you'll always receive a video from my YouTube channel Hummingbird Mama. And don't forget the notification bell, so whenever a new video is uploaded on my YouTube channel Hummingbird Mama, you'll always receive an email notification. So till I see you in my next cooking video, take care and have a good day.